The next guest returns to the action on February 21st when Cage Titans takes over MGM Music Hall at Fenway Park for Cage Titans Revolution. He's the current Cage Titans Bantamweight Champion, working his way down to flyweight. His next fight's at a catchweight of 130, where he faces Kam Arnold. He's Andrew, the Gladiator, Valdina. How's it going, Andrew?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Doing good. As long as this connection stays stable, we're good. The fight, you start with the fight, originally booked back in January, got delayed. Good delay. I mean, you go from the remarkable Plymouth Memorial Hall to Fenway Park. How does that feel on your end to go from like one amazing venue to one unique venue?
Yeah, man. Exactly like you said. I love Plymouth Memorial Hall, the Coliseum, Plymouth Memorial Coliseum. That's been my home for my entire MMA career, amateur and pro. I've made so many memories in that place, and I love all the Plymouth fans that come down, my family that always comes down there, man. But the delay, like you said, was it's almost like it was needed, man, and it all happens for a reason. So now we're moving over to Boston, MGM Music Hall, next to Fenway Park, literally attached to it. And yeah, that's going to be a great experience and definitely something to check off the bucket list too.
Yeah, I mean, I get the whole package too. Like, it's not just a poster being presented around town or in your local like pizza joint. I know you did go to a pizza joint recently to promote the fight, but like,
Yeah.
you're literally on the billboards at Fenway Park. Like, how does that really resonate with you? Because it's one of the things to like know you're the main event, but you're like main event like posters in Boston at Fenway Park.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I just feel like it's all a part of the journey that I've set out since I was, starting this. Like even in high school, man, when I was watching UFC fights and stuff, I envisioned so many things that are finally coming to fruition. Like I envisioned myself on these big promotions and stuff like that. Obviously we're not in the biggest promotion yet, like UFC, which I can't wait to, get to someday. But I envisioned even this stuff too, like the billboards outside of Boston on Lansdowne Street and stuff. Like it's all just coming to fruition, man, thankfully.
I mean, you have like all the check boxes. You're young, you're undefeated, 7-0. Never had a really boring fight. Like even like really is being like a dickhead about it. Like there's not a boring Andrew Valdina fight, and always high class. And if you check all the boxes, so like I'm assuming like, after this, like, do you have plans for your 2026, or is it pretty much like ride the wave and see where it goes, or do you really want like a contender series in August?
So obviously, like first things first, not to sound so cliche, but it's just so true to my heart. And like I'm so set on Kam Arnold. I'm so set on taking this kid out. He's a fierce competitor, and there's nobody I should be underestimating, and him included. So my sole focus is on the task at hand, February 21st. But once I'm through that, of course, I would love a contender series shot to prove myself to the world and to the UFC that I'm ready to face high class opposition. But I'm not going to be sitting here after this fight, after I get my hand raised and saying, I want a contender series shot. When it comes, I'll be ready 100%. I'm staying ready all 2026. My biggest goal is to stay healthy. I've had so many setbacks in my career already where I've had injuries and stuff like that. So I just really hope the big man upstairs can keep me healthy. But if a contender series shot comes, obviously I'd be eternally grateful for it. Having said that, if it doesn't come into the timeline that I'm expecting, I would love to make 125 at least once before that time comes too. This fight, all my fights for my entire career so far, I've been at 135, a couple catchweights at 140. But this one's at 130 to intelligently make my way down even to 125. But I'd like to make 125 at least one time before a higher promotion gives me the call.
And as the thought ever came into, because of the fact that you did do your amateur career and your pro career under Cage Titans, has there ever been a thought to like explore other regions to kind of get that like outside view?
Yeah, I mean that's come up quite a bit through my own team, talking with them, my management, even Mike Polvere, the promoter of Cage Titans as well. I've kind of mentioned it to him a couple times because they've treated me so well, man. Because I've literally had 7 amateur fights for Cage Titans, 7 pro fights. It's gonna be my 8th pro fight. It's gonna be fight number 15 for them. Um, so I want to stay so loyal to them because of the mutual relationship we've had with each other. Um, but at the same time, man, I know like the benefit of traveling to another promotion would be kind of getting out of your comfort zone a little bit and dipping your toes in new water and stuff like that. But I don't care what you say. There's no other regional promotion that's promoting and treating their fighters the way that Cage Titan does. I've heard from so many different teammates and you know training partners and coaches and other promoters even giving so much props to Cage Titans and Mike Polvere. So I know that I've been in good hands for all my career at Cage Titans. I think that this was actually a blessing having it moved to MGM. I feel like this is the best way that I can stay loyal to Cage Titans while still being able to get out of my comfort zone a little bit, getting into a new, bigger venue with new and more eyes on me. And the cage size is going to be different this time too. The Cage Titans cage is probably one of the smallest cages you're going to find in a regional promotion almost anywhere. Um, so to have for this venue specifically a UFC size cage for the first time, I think this is the best way that I can also stay loyal while experiencing new ventures here. So I think everything was what was meant to be here.
That's been really the key factor so far in all the interviews I've done so far for this card is everyone's excited for that real size 25-foot cage. A mix of, I mean, you're not on top of your opponent right away. You actually have room to like space out and like stand your ground and actually get a feel for the cage instead of like being right on top of each other. Which is always fun. I mean, when you get to the UFC, you have 2 cages to mix with. You have the smaller cage in the Apex and the real cage when they go on field trips, which feels a little more common now than it was past couple years. But outside of that, you're fighting an opponent who you've had since January, so you've been kind of sucks to be having the same opponent, but it's only a month. It's not like the usual 2-month gap that Cage Titans usually does. What do you like? If you had to pick one strong asset of your opponent, like what's the one thing that stands out to you about Kam?
If I had to pick what?
Like something that stands out and that actually like, impresses you.
It impresses me. Maybe his gameness. I think he's a game opponent. I don't think he really likes to back down from a challenge. I heard that when my name was presented to him, he like jumped on it. He was really eager to fight me. Which I kind of appreciate. I kind of am looking forward to making him like regret that decision a little bit. I have a lot of respect for him, honestly, but when I heard how eager he was, I was like, does he know what he's getting himself into here? So I'd say his gameness and his power. Almost all of his wins, I'm pretty sure, have been from knockout. So I know he throws some heavy leather. So I guess his power and his gameness are probably his 2 best attributes, in my opinion.
And then, like, how do you compare him to like other opponents you faced? I know you faced Joe the Party, who is Joe the Party. Like, I don't know how else to really describe Joe's style. He's very unique and he's tougher than he needs to be. I think is probably one way to describe it. Between your fight, getting his face kicked into the 3rd row from Randy Costa, like this guy doesn't go down. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
He may have trouble keeping a mouthpiece in sometimes, but like he just keeps going. Hey, how do you compare the styles there going from like one veteran to another?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, so Joe the Party Man, he's a seasoned vet, and he's faced all sorts of opposition in his career. He has no problem. He's another game guy, a true fighter to the core. And he's faced so many different styled fighters, and there was nothing that was really presented to Joe that he hasn't seen before. But I would say that I presented actually maybe one of the most unique challenges that he's faced, which is just my range that I was able to keep for the majority of the fight. I don't think he was like, obviously he's faced kickers before, before me. I forget the guy's name, but he faced a pretty good kicker at a different organization. And the guy kicked the crap out of him. But at the same time, there were some mistakes that kicker was making where he was closing too much distance with some shots and he was getting hit for it. I think I did a pretty good job of presenting Joe a challenge where he wasn't able to find me. Um, I plan on doing a lot of that to Kam as well, but also sprinkling in so many new things too, man. I think Kam, again, Kam is a great opponent to have, and he's a good fighter, but he's never faced anybody like me, and I can honestly say that. And Kam hasn't faced all the opposition that Joe the Party has either. He's not as experienced as Joe is. So to fight Joe the Party for that bantamweight strap in my last outing, I think that's a huge blessing for so many reasons. It's almost putting like a donut on a bat. And now I get to go down a weight class and face somebody that's less experienced, who in my opinion, is going to put himself in a lot more danger than the Party did as well. So that's how I feel about it.
Nice. And then, I keep trying to not harp on the venue, but the ones who have seen the hall know it's a character in itself. It has its own atmosphere. I don't know how else to describe the hall besides it's the hall. How do you keep yourself from like feeding into the fact that you're at Fenway, you're at a bigger venue, you're at bigger lights and glamour? Like, how do you keep yourself level coming into this fight?
I think it's just been a lot of solid reps I've had under my belt now at this point. I know I've only had 7 pro fights, but I visualize a lot, man. Like I really I see exactly how I park my car. When I get into Boston, I see how myself parking the car. I see myself getting out into the cold weather with the bag on, my headphones on, walking to the venue. I see the first moments of noise, like right when I'm approaching the venue with, the media guys that want to grab pictures and videos and stuff. And I see myself blocking it out the way I should. I see myself walking in there, like just man on a mission. I see myself warming up. I see every single thing, man. And I said this in another interview. It's almost like I'm a psychopath, the amount of in-depth visualization I do. But I think it's always made me so just ready for the moment. It's almost like I've already been there. And now I'm just doing the rep that I've already practiced so many times in my head. And it's going to just be a walk in the park, to be honest.
That makes sense. I know I kind of asked a similar question to a teammate of yours in a way. Tom Hags, when he did his PFL debut, I was like, how do you go from Combat Zone and Cage Titans and like where you've been to the Boardwalk Hall? That's where his PFL debut was, and he kind of said the same thing. Like the mental game is obviously stronger than anything else. If you're not prepared coming in, doesn't matter how great you are, because you can fall apart once you get into the cage. We've seen it. We've seen some of the best fighters walk into the cage and just have an off night. They just couldn't turn it on. But visualizing, especially how you said, arriving, walking in, walking out, the fight, visualizing the win. Conor McGregor, I think, was notorious, no pun intended, for saying, like, visualize it and it will come true. And that makes complete sense because, like, I know just looking at the different venues, like, this is, even from the outside view, just next level.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine what it will be in 2 weeks when it's not only, you're not going for a private tour anymore, you're going for an actual walk into a live arena.
Yes, sir.
Outside of that, you have to fight. We kind of talked about the future too. You're going to kind of play it by whatever comes because, again, you can control what you can control. You can't make Mick and Dana and I guess Hunter Campbell, now that we know that he kind of runs the show, make the call to you. So, like, is the goal, if we had to make a goal, I don't want to put you like in that spot, but like, are you fighting Casey Norton this year?
I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I know Casey had a talk with me at weigh-ins for his past fight against Cody Davis. It's funny because the day before, I didn't see this at the time. Let me tell you a little story. So I show up to weigh-ins for this past Cage Titans here because I had some teammates fighting. And I just wanted to support them and stuff. And Casey's coach comes up to me. He's like, hey, man, Casey's not doing too hot. He's off weighing. He just had a weight cut. You mind coming over here and talking to him? I was like, he wants to talk to you. I'm like, sure. in my head, I'm like, why can't Casey get up off his ass and come grab me himself? But whatever. So I walk over to Casey. I'm saying what's up. And he goes, hey, man, I just want to say I got so much respect for you, blah, blah, blah. And anything I say, I don't want there to be any bet, so I'm like, listen, man, all's fair. It's the fight game. Whatever's said is said. Not knowing that the day before, which I found out later on, because I don't look at all the stuff I'm tagged in all the times, but I happened to that night, and I saw that he was like, him and his boys were on this little like podcast they're starting, and they were kind of like talking smack about me, saying like, oh, I'm scared of daddy or some shit like that. And so Casey was probably saying to himself, shit, Valdina's probably gonna see this. Let me kind of like cover my tracks here and go up to him and apologize. So I don't know. He sounded like he got a little cold feet after what he said the day before, when I saw him at weigh-ins. He mentioned he wants to train with me and stuff. So I don't know how he feels about it. I'm not too concerned with Casey Norton. I'm concerned with Kam Arnold, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Nice little Northeast Kobe Covington in a way. Say stuff and then try to back it up when it's in person.
Yeah.
I guess not back it up. Back away in person.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
That makes sense. Yeah. But no, that makes sense. And then, like you said, 2 weeks, MGM Music Hall. I'm gonna eventually get this name down without calling it music venue. It's and you grew up in the area as well. So like, what did it feel like walking out and seeing like Fenway from where the locker room will be?
It was cool. It was cool. It was cold, but no, it was nice, man. I had a lot of teammates there that day when we all got to tour it, and seeing them get excited for it, it made me happy too. Because these are big opportunities. The teammates I'm mentioning, they're only amateurs as well, so it's like to be an amateur fighter for this opportunity. That's crazy. It's almost unheard of, to be honest. So really happy for my team and stuff. But again, like I'm trying to be humble here, but it just seems so expected for me right now. I'm not shocked by anything. I just feel like I'm meant to be here. So this is just one little milestone in this long journey I'm on. So more to come.
Yeah, I think you actually touched on a great point too. Like when you look at the card, the pros on this card, when you read the names, you're like, this makes sense. These are like the Cage Titans base in 2026. At least, be it one side or the other. Some fights, it is both sides. So I guess my final question for this, you have started doing a lot of commentary. How has that added to your game? Like, do you see the fights from a different angle now that you are breaking it down as you're calling the plays?
I don't know how much it's really helped my fighting ability, to be honest, but like a little side quest goal I have in my life here is eventually, once I get to the point where I want to reach, UFC champion, I would love the opportunities to be able to commentate like these guys you see, like, Dominic Cruz and DC and Michael Bisping and those guys and stuff, Paul Felder. So like eventually that's what I would love to do. I love talking about the sport. It's all I do. It's all I revolve my life around. So I'd love to like keep that passion like directed towards the sport itself in some way, whether it's like sports analyst or commentary. So I just love that Cage Titans keeps giving me these opportunities to commentate, because it's more reps in the bank for me to prepare myself from the time comes for a higher promotion to commentate for them. But also when I'm actually at the venues and stuff and I'm commentating these fights, it is like, obviously I have no problem getting into the cage and fighting. So again, it's what I love to do. But it shows that, like, man, anybody can do it. It's like these guys are just throwing leather right in front of me a couple feet away, and they're taking shots and they're smiling. It's like, it's nothing but a thing when you get in there, man, and really let go and enjoy what you do. So to be able to see that with like so many different styled fighters, of backgrounds of fighters, that's what I really love. I love seeing just like, wherever you come from, you have the ability to just get in there and get that job done, man.
Awesome. So February 21st, MGM Music Hall, Fenway Park, Boston. Like, you can't get better than this. I'm gonna pass the mic to you a little bit, because coming into the fight, obviously your training partners are everything. Your your family support. You have the base that you need behind you to get you to the show. But you have a lot of, I'm assuming, some people don't do it, but I'm assuming you have sponsors and all. So I'm going to give you the mic to kind of shout out your sponsors, and we'll wrap it up, and we'll see each other in 2 weeks. Mike's all yours.
Yes, sir. Hey, thank you very much for having me on, man. I just want to thank you first. I'm always appreciative of all these opportunities I get to, tell my story a little bit and promote myself a little bit leading up to all my fights. So without guys like you, this ain't possible. So thank you. But then I know, shout out to my team, and my coaches. I'm actually outside of the training room right now. I just finished up a private lesson with my coach, Pete Luciani. But thank you all. You guys have been gearing me up. I'm so ready for this moment because of you guys. And look out for my teammates from Hook and Roll and Lowe's MMA as well on the card. Shout out to my family. They do so damn much for me. I wouldn't be able to do like a fraction of what I do without them. So they just go above and beyond every single time. First ones at the venue, or try to be, they're awesome. And obviously shout out to my sponsors as well. They've definitely been helping me just get to and from all my training sessions, the amount of miles I drive with the gas I got to put in and stuff, and the gym memberships and the cost of equipment and medical shit, so they've all helped me tenfold. And I'm very, very grateful for all the generous sponsors, especially for this camp. And then I just can't wait for you all to see another great moment. Obviously I do this because I love fighting, and I have a solid, real visual of where I can get into the sport if I just keep playing my cards right, man. But like a good little like side note is that I love just giving all the fans like a good moment to remember too. So I know on February 21st, people aren't going to leave there saying, oh, it was nice that we supported Andrew. But no, people are going to go there saying, I'm so happy we came here because we just witnessed one of the greatest finish in a main event we've ever seen. Andrew Valdina gets the job done against Kam Arnold, February 21st, MGM Boston. Get your tickets, link in my bio. It's Gladiator season. Let's go.
I know a better way to close it out. He hit everything. That link in his bio, his link to his bio, and as well as the link to Spectation Sports if you can't make it to the venue itself, all be below. Tune in and follow Andrew. Like I said, 7-0 now, 8-0 in 2 weeks. Like, there's no other checkboxes to hit. This man's UFC ready. So thanks for coming on, and look forward to the fight.
Thank you.